The light in me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste. Okay, let's begin on our backs once again. You can move the cushion to the side. And today we'll start just in a laying position. Place one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. And we're going to take a big breath in through the belly, then breathe in through the chest, hold at the top, exhale from the chest, exhale from the belly, hold. Inhale belly, chest, hold, exhale chest, exhale belly, hold, no air in the body. Inhale belly, chest, the entire air full of body hold. Exhale chest, exhale belly, hold. Same pattern 3 more times at your own pace. And then once you've taken 3 more rounds like that, you can let the arms fall to either side. And then bring the arms up and overhead, like you're taking a big stretch. Sort of like you might first thing in the morning, big stretch, arms reach as far from the body as they can go, legs are stretching. Now take your right foot over to the right side. Still laying on the ground, so you're just shifting the long leg over to the right, good. Now bring the left foot to meet the right. Good, now bring the right hand over to the right side and try the left hand over to the left side, shifting the shoulders a little to the right. I'm sorry, right hand to the right, left hand to the right. Yes. So you should feel like a banana. And breathe into that big side body stretch. Good, come back to center. Big stretch like you're waking up in the morning. And then left foot over to the left side, long along the floor. Right foot over to the left, then left hand to the left, right hand to the left, big banana. Just breathe into the side body, clearing out anything that's stagnant or stuck there. And then bringing the arms and legs back to center, taking a big stretch. And then bringing the arms out like a cactus. Bring the feet to the mat, knees point up towards the ceiling. Feet as wide as the mat, windshield wiper knees from left to right. And you can really take your time with this right now. Since we're going to be opening the hips quite a bit, this is our hip warm-up. You can pause on one side and stay there for a moment. Drawing that top knee just a little closer to the floor. Then inhale to center, over to the other side, and you can pause there. Good. Inhale to center. Now bring the right knee into the chest and slide the left leg along the floor. Press into the left heel so the left leg stays really strong and activated. Place the left hand on front of the left hip and open the right knee out to the right side like a hinge door opening to the right. Naturally, the left hip is going to peel off the mat a little bit, so try to ground it with the left hand while simultaneously opening the right knee out to the right side. Make sure shoulders are relaxed. Good. Now let go of the right knee with the right hand and just take this right knee in big circles, trying to find the full rotation of the hip joint. You can keep the left hand on the left hip to keep the hip stable and steady. So you want the left hip to stay still and you're just moving the right knee in circles. Perfect. Now move the other direction if you haven't already, taking circles the opposite way. And then bring the left foot to the earth, bring the right ankle to the left knee, and you can either gently guide the right knee forward. Especially if you have sensitive knees, you can flex the right toes towards the right knee, and this actually activates the muscles around the knee, keeping it safe when you stretch here. Now bring the left knee into the chest and really feel the big stretch on the outside of the right hip. If that doesn't feel good, you can always lower the foot back down. If it does feel good, you can experiment with trying to pull the tailbone towards the floor while simultaneously pulling the knee towards the chest, the left knee. Breathe into the belly, keep the shoulders relaxed. Good. Lower down the left foot. Lower down the right foot. Now slide the right leg onto the mat, pressing into the right heel. Draw the left knee into the chest. Pull the tail down while you pull the knee into the chest. Then place the right hand on the right hip and open the left knee up to the left side. Try to ground the right hip down towards the floor. Pressing into the right heel, keeping the right leg active and grounded. Good, now let go of the knee with the left hand and take big circles with the left knee. Trying to find the full rotation of the hip joint while keeping the right hip as still and grounded as possible. It'll move a little, but try to keep it as still as you can. And then take the knee in opposite directions. How are you feeling in the hips? Do you feel a lot of tightness there right now? Okay. Now bring the right foot to the earth. Left ankle comes to the right knee. You can send the left knee forward or you draw the right knee into the chest. If this feels comfortable, you can experiment with pulling the tail down and the knee in. Breathe into the outer left hip. Shoulders stay relaxed. Good. Now unravel, bringing both knees into the chest, and you can roll a few times up to a seat. And keep the feet on the floor now, hands behind the body. Fingertips point towards the body. So you might feel a big stretch in the wrists here. Hands behind the hips if you can. Feet as wide as the mat. And then once again, windshield wiper left to right. Good. Now cross the ankles one over the other. Walk the hands forward to find a tabletop. And then begin to take the hips in a circle, one big circle in one direction. And take the hips in a big circle the opposite way. Good. Finding a neutral spine, lift the hips, drop the belly, roll the shoulders away from the ears, look up. Exhale, tuck the tail, belly button to spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, lift the hips, drop the belly, shoulders roll away from the ears, look up. And begin to breathe through cat-cow now. If you haven't started already to fully connect with your breath, now is the moment to really tune in a little more deeply. Letting the body follow the movement of the breath. Warming up the spine. Now find a neutral spine. And just rotate the fingers towards the knees. So you have a few options. You might be able to do this just one hand at a time. You can try for both hands. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. The hands can also go out to the sides. If it feels uncomfortable, them turning backwards. Okay, looks like we all got it. If you want to take a little bit of the pressure off, you can slightly lean forward. If you want to intensify a little, you can just gently draw the hips slightly back to the heels. But if you're not practiced in stretching the wrists, I would just stay in a zone that feels pretty comfortable. Press into the fingertips. Good. And rotate the fingertips forward. Bring the knees as wide as the mat. Big toes touch and sink down towards the heels, finding child's pose, Balasana. Forehead meets the mat. And feel yourself soften now all the way along the spine. Lower back relaxes. Middle of the back relaxes. Upper back relaxes into the shoulders and down the arms, into the hands, softening the face. Often when we're working with the hips, we're working in conjunction with the energy of the sacral chakra, the second chakra that is in the pelvic center of the body. This tightness might come up when we're dealing with things that have to do with the senses, the emotions, our sense of pleasure, our relationship with our sexuality. And when this area is tense or blocked, we often feel a lot of guilt. This is where guilt lives in the body. When the energy here is freely flowing, we feel creative, we feel expansive, we feel in flow with life, connected to our emotions without suppressing them. Go ahead and breathe an orange light into the very center of the pelvis. And as you exhale, you can surrender any feeling of guilt about anything you've ever done, any shame, and just release it into the earth, into the soil below you, knowing that the earth will be able to transform it into something beautiful. Bring the hands together and behind the back of the head. Probably have really open shoulders from yesterday. And set an intention for your evening, for your retreat, or even just for the rest of our time together today. And gently lower the hands back down onto the mat. Inhale, lift up to a tabletop. Knees come back underneath the hips. Are you okay? Extend the right leg back. And rock forward and back, massaging the toes and the ball of the foot. Waking up the back of the right leg. Check out the hands. Make sure the fingers are spread wide and the middle fingers are parallel. Pressing into all of the fingers. Good. And now when you rock back, so the hip is above the knee, left hip above the knee, bring the weight into the left hand, peel the right arm open, and draw the right heel down onto the mat. Try to keep the right leg extended. Good. Can you straighten the right leg? Nice. Now relax the right arm over the right ear, pinky spinning down. So you're finding a big side stretch once again, all the way along the right side of the body, from the outside of the right foot, all the way into the right pinky. Looks great. Now, if you feel a lot of pressure under the knee, for this next one, I would recommend just folding the mat over so there's a little more cushion underneath the knee. If your knee feels okay here, then we can move on to the next one, which is lift the right arm up towards the sky. Get really light on the left hand and lift the left arm up, sliding the right hand down the right leg. Left arm comes over the ear. Now we're stretching the other side. Are your knees okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one just had a bunch of surgeries.
Then exhale, windmill, down into the mat. Lift the right heel. Extend the left arm. Feel yourself, if you're arching the back, pull the belly button into the spine. Really strong core. Feeling your sense of direction, your sense of purpose, strength, balance. Then exhale, lower down the left hand. Lower down the right knee, and we can even sit back on the heels for a second and shake out the wrists. Maybe even interlacing the fingers and moving the wrists around a little. Good. Do you want a second mat? Okay. Do you?
I could maybe use
A little more cushion? Sure. So now come back to tabletop. I'm giving you one anyway. You don't have to use
I
it.
appreciate it.
And now we're sending the left leg back. Rock forward and back, massaging the left toes. The mats here are pretty thin on the hard floor, so I like to use two when I don't have one that has a little more cushion. Just waking up the back of the left leg, the toes, maybe even the ankle. And then when the right hip is over the right knee, peel the left arm open. Left heel comes down. Good. Relax the left arm over the left ear and spin the pinky down. Left arm is lifting. Good. Breathe. And then get really light on the right fingertips. Lift the left arm up, lift the right arm up and over the right ear. Big side stretch, gate pose. Good, stay here and with your breath. Don't let the mind pull you somewhere else. And exhale, windmill the hands back down onto the mat. Extend the left leg back, press into the left heel. Right arm comes forward, palms facing the midline of the body. Now again, if you're arching the back, pull the belly button into the spine. Really strong core. And you can feel almost as if the left hand and the right knee are magnetized towards each other under the earth. And that slight pulling of the left hand and the right knee will create more balance and stability. And gently lower down the right hand, lower down the left knee. Tuck the toes, exhale, press back to down dog. Pedal out the heels one at a time. Back of the neck is soft. Waking up the backs of the legs once again. Chest is pulling towards the thighs. Gently walk the feet between the hands. Inhale, halfway, long straight spine. Hands are on the mat, the shins, the thighs. Shoulders roll away from the ears. Exhale, fold over the legs, hinging at the hips. And you can grab opposite elbows here. You can keep the knees bent, opening in the low back. Or if you're looking for a hamstring stretch, you can keep the legs more straight. Then bend the knees, gently roll up to stand. Good. Inhale, arms lift all the way up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, nice and far. Lower down the right knee, untuck the right toes. If you need to fold the edge of the mat over underneath the knee, you can. Walk the hands onto the left knee. Now check, is the knee passing the ankle? If it is, inch the left foot forward just a little. Good. Now bend into this knee a lot. Make sure it still doesn't pass the ankle. Bring the arms up and lift the chest up and back ever so slightly. You'll probably feel this in the front of the right hip flexor. Exhale, bring the hands to the left knee. Big inhale, elongate the spine, squeeze the inner thighs together to help stabilize you, and then look over the left shoulder. Again, big stretch in the front of the right hip flexor. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, bring the hands to frame the left foot. Heel toe left foot over to the left side. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. And we're just going to experiment with this hip joint once again. So first we'll bring a little more weight into the pinky toe, knee comes further from the body, and then we'll bring weight into the big toe, knee comes closer to the body, and just shift the weight from the outside to the inside of the foot, noticing how that feels in the hip joint. Maybe there's something that feels really good or not as good. Maybe you just shift forward and back slightly. Now, if it's comfortable, we can either grab the cushion and lower the elbows down onto the cushion. Or if you'd like, you can try for lowering the elbows down onto the mat. Maybe the head meets the cushion. And just breathe. Lift up onto the hands. Okay, another one that might be a little challenging if we're tight in the hips, but I'll show you how to do it first. If it doesn't feel right in your body, there's an alternative we can do on our backs. You're gonna take the left foot and heel toe the left foot over to the right side. Lower down the left knee. Look back at the right leg. Make sure right hip, knee, heel are all parallel to the edge of the mat. And if you'd like, you can use this cushion to place it underneath the left hip to try to get yourself a little more square to the earth. You can stay there or lower down onto the elbows. You can also use the cushion underneath the elbows or underneath the head. Now, does this not feel right in anyone's body? Because I can show you the pose on your back.
No, I'm just laughing and it's saying go slow today.
Does it feel fast?
No.
Relax into this. Breathe into the hip joint. Now, I've had teachers who've told me the pose begins the moment you'd like to leave it. I don't know if I 100% agree. But there is a type of growth that happens when we feel a little uncomfortable. And yet we stay anyway. We breathe through it. We don't let the ego win that's saying, no, 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 no. I can't, I won't. Gently lift up into the hands. Shift the weight into the left hip. You can bring the left hip all the way down and just gently bring the right leg forward. Left leg forward, and you can shake out the legs. Good. Bring the soles of the feet together and just let the knees bounce a little. You'll never tell me you have tight hips again. Now inhale the spine nice and tall. Try to keep the spine nice and straight. You can just forward bend just a little, just as far as comfortable. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. After 5 breaths, or about 30 seconds, we start to get into the deep muscle tissue, or the fascia and the fascia. And once we're in a pose, in stillness for about 30 seconds, then you'll notice you can actually stretch a little deeper. One more big breath right now, right here. And then exhale, move a little deeper into the stretch. Inhale, lift up. Bring the knees together. Cross the ankles one over the other. Walk the hands forward. Find tabletop. Or get there any way that feels good. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Step the right foot between the hands. Nice big step. Lower down the left knee. Untuck the left toes. Walk the hands onto the right knee. Now let's just make sure alignment is right. So squeeze the inner thighs together, belly buttons into spine, and make sure now that the knee isn't passing the ankle. And then bend deeply into that leg, feeling a big stretch in the front of the left hip flexor. If you'd like, lift the arms. If it feels safe and okay for you, you can lift the chest up and back slightly. And And exhale, bring the hands to the knee. Big inhale, elongate the spine. Big exhale, take a twist looking over the right shoulder. And inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Heel toe right foot over to the right side. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. And now play around with this right hip joint. Going to the pinky, the big toe. Exploring there. And then if you'd like, lowering the elbows down into the block. Lizard pose. Or onto the floor. Good, breathing deeply. And then lift up onto the hands. My left hip is tighter than my right. Yeah, but almost always there's one side that's tighter than the other. Heel toe the right foot over to the left. Lower down the right knee. Check out the left knee, or the left hip. Hip, knee, heel are all in one line, parallel with the edge of the mat. If you need to place the block underneath the right hip, you can. And then lower down onto the block, onto the elbows, maybe all the way onto the mat. And something that's really interesting is often in these hip stretching poses, these deep stretching poses, we actually are tightening around the area where we're trying to stretch. And it's this body's way, the body's way of keeping you safe. So right now, allow yourself to soften into the pose. Even if there's a little fear of like, oh no, will I be okay? See if you can really notice where you're tightening around the hip, where you're tightening in the shoulders. Can you fully soften? And often when we stretch the hips, we also have a big emotional release because we store a lot of emotions in the hips. I can't even tell you how many times in this pose in particular, students have like released tears, something being dislodged. But it's important to just to watch any feelings that come up pass through you, rather than get engrossed in the story. It's not the mind's job right now to process any feelings, just the body. Allow them to move through you. And then gently lift up onto the hands. Shift the weight onto the right hip and ever so slowly bring the left leg forward. We're going to do something interesting. Place the left foot outside of the right knee. Cool. So you can stay there. I'll do the opposite side. So I'm mirroring you. Now you can bring the left arm underneath the right arm. Option 1, hold on to the backs of the shoulders. Option 2, back of the palms touch. If you're really open in the shoulders, front of the palms might touch. So you can stay as you are right now, or if you're really open in the hips, you might even be able to stack left knee over the right. No pressure. This is called Cowface pose. Do you see it? I don't know if I can see it. Look like a cow face? Okay, now this is really fun. So unravel the arms. I'll show you this first, and then we'll see what happens when you try. So I'm twisting over to my right side, and I'm keeping the feet where they are. Watch me do it first. I'm bringing the hands behind me, feet stay where they are, and I'm walking in a circle, feet stay where they are, and I end up with the right foot over the left. Try it. So take a twist, walk the hands in a circle, keep the feet where they are, and see if you can end up with one foot over. Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you too. Okay, nice. Yeah, keep
without moving the feet?
Keep the feet where they are. Yeah, so you're twisting over to the right, then keep the feet where they are, walk in a circle. Yes, yeah! Nice. Okay, it's our yoga magic trick. Now bring the right arm underneath the left arm. Hands on the back of the shoulders. Back of the hands touch, front of the palms touch. Back of the shoulders is fine. You can't sit up straight. Then just uncross the legs a little bit so that this right foot is more in front, yeah. And that should stabilize you a little. Nice. And then just try to bring the elbows as high as the shoulders. Good. And then maybe backs to the palms one day, maybe fronts. Good. And then gently unravel. Unravel the legs. Extend the legs out in front of you. And we'll just shake them out. Good. And you can kind of move them back and forth, digesting everything from today. And then go ahead, lay on the mat. And bring the right knee into the chest, and bring the right knee over to the left side, extend the right arm, and just breathe into the belly. Long, deep breath in. And a long, deep breath out. Feel yourself softening and relaxing. Breathing into your very center. Good, gently unravel. And then switch sides, left knee comes in. Bring the left knee over to the right. Extend the left leg. Bring it into the belly. And gently unravel. And you can just find yourself in a nice soft Savasana. If you have a little tension in the low back when you lay in Savasana, you can place a cushion underneath the knees. And that'll ground your low back a little bit more towards the earth and probably release you of that tension. And if there's anything else that you feel like the body really needs to do before settling into this pose, you can also do it. That's okay. And otherwise just soften into a nice laying position. Feeling your body soften and melt down onto the earth. Without moving them, try right now to soften your toes. Begin to soften the soles of the feet. And feel as if the feet and the ankles are melting into a very soothing body of water. The water feels silky on your skin. And you notice a mist coming off the top of the water. You breathe in the vapors from the mist, and they have an immediate calming effect on the body, as if they contain blissful relaxation in every particle of vapor. Feel yourself softening the lower part of the leg into the silky body of water. The mist and the vapor now containing one of your favorite smells. Something that reminds you of a happy memory. Something that feels soft. That reminds you of feeling warm and at ease. Feel the knees and the thighs melt into the water. You feel the body becoming so relaxed in the body of water that it's hard to differentiate between your body and the soothing liquid. Looking for the edge of where your skin ends and the water begins. And noticing that that line, that edge is blurred. As you breathe, you feel the water moving in steadiness with your body. Your inner world and outer world becoming one movement, one rhythm. You feel the hips sink into the water. You finally release all of the tension there, letting go of any judgment you've been holding, particularly for yourself. You feel any of that compressing, contracting feeling of judgment, of guilt, releasing from your body and just bubbling up to the surface of the water. All this time, it was as easy to let go of as that. Just let it go. No resistance, surrendering. The lower back melts into the liquid. The rib cage touches the water. And a moment of hesitation before you lower your heart in. Maybe you've learned it's hard to let go here, to trust. You may have learned it's safer to protect yourself than fully let go. With a moment of courage and bravery, you lower even the chest and the heart space into the water, feeling yourself moving with the rhythm around you, relaxing the shoulders, softening the arms into the water. Softening the hands. And as the hands melt into the silky liquid, you notice how you've been holding them just a little. You can finally let go of that gripping, knowing you've been holding on to something imaginary all this time. Letting go of it comes with a great sense of relief. Softening the neck, lowering it down, relaxing the jaw, softening finally the face into the silky liquid, past the layer of mist, moving under. And once the whole body is under the water, you feel yourself lowering down, down, down through this mystical liquid that you realize behaves more like light than water. And as you breathe the light that surrounds you into your body, landing on the softest, sparkling layer of sand. You bring the sand into your palms, and even though it's under this light, it's completely dry, and you feel the sand move through your fingertips, that soft sensation of taking handfuls of sand and allowing it to softly pour away. Here on the surface of the bottom, underneath this light water, you finally feel a moment of clarity. Allow an image to arise in your mind right now. Maybe it's a symbol or a shape or a person's face. Maybe it's you doing something. Just allow a message for yourself to come now. A message you can finally tune into through all this clarity. Maybe it comes in words. And then letting the image go. the message go. And taking just one more moment of silence, where you don't have to be anyone, anywhere, anything. Just still. And noticing your breath once again. When you're ready, inviting gratitude into the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes and coming back to this reality, to this space. And now you can take one of those big stretches that we started the practice with, stretching the arms and the legs. Big, bright stretch. And then gently bring the knees into the chest. Let the knees fall to one side. And then gently, when you're ready, come up to seated. Bring the hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bring the hands to the third eye center. The light within me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste.